Hello, and thank you for joining SmileShop Dental Marketing's webinar today. Today, we're going to be talking about why traditional marketing is making a comeback. I am your host today, and my name is Janet Dunford. A little bit about me. I am the head of business development here at SmileShop Marketing. I have 25 years of driving brand growth with a client-first approach and hands-on leadership in a business management position. So let's get started. Today's topics, we're going to be reviewing the new marketing reality, traditional marketing methods, blending traditional and digital marketing, and then applying it to today's dental marketing. All right, let's dive in. The new marketing reality. First, before we can even take a look at what that new reality looks like, I felt it was important that we take a look at the evolution of marketing. Back in the 1800s, we started with a billboard. If we fast forward into the 1970s, the internet was released. Fast forward into the early 2000s, Twitter, first iPhone came out, Facebook, Google Analytics tracking started. And now if we look at the environment today, we have tools such as ChatGPT and Gemini that can help us. Consumers are exposed to 4,000 to 10,000 digital ads per day on social media feeds, Google searches, YouTube pre-rolls, and even mid-roll video ads. Streaming services, we've got in-app pop-ups, email promotions. There's just so many more places that you can be exposed to a digital ad every day. And most of them actually go unnoticed. And this is what we call ad blindness. People ignore those ads automatically because they are seen so frequently. So the question you're probably asking yourself is, how do you stand out in that noisy landscape? First, the resurgence of traditional marketing. Old channels are regaining in importance, such as radio, television, direct mail, billboards, and print media all cut through the digital noise. They are often seen as more authentic and trustworthy, and they're able to break through that clutter of digital ads. Why would a consumer respond? Because they're tangible. They're physical items, a piece of mail, print. They are more memorable. It has a lasting impact. You have a multi-sensory approach. Sight, touch, even sound listening to a radio ad can make your message more engaging. They build high trust. If it's on a billboard or a radio, it feels legitimate. And a lasting presence. Stays in the environment longer, whether it's a billboard you pass on your daily commute or a radio ad you've heard, or even a print piece of mail that you've kept in your home for a significant period of time. Direct mail. This is the first one we're going to talk about today. So some facts about direct mail. Direct mail sits in the home on average of 17 days. With that, it has a 70% higher ad recall rate versus a digital ad in today's market. When you pair your direct mail campaign with a digital ad, this creates a 118% higher response rate than just doing a direct mail piece or digital ad piece on their own. Why is that? Because it's highly targetable. You can target income, lifestyle, family status, even geography. Some of the formats we can do those in: postcard, flyer, or even a bifold brochure you can provide your information in. Next, it's radio. Radio is personal and community driven. You can use that through local radio stations because they create trust and that authenticity. They're great for appointment reminders and seasonal campaigns. And did you know radio advertising is a US $28 billion market in 2025? It is projected to grow to $45 billion by 2030. That's an incredible growth rate, and it just stands to prove that radio is still definitely a marketing medium that we want to be chosen for. In Canada, traditional radio ad spend is forecasted at $975 million this year. Radio's digital revenue growth has grown by 80% in 3 years, from 2019 to 2022, and it reaches billions of listeners weekly worldwide, making it one of the most universal media channels. Billboards and out-of-home marketing. Digital billboards allow quick creative swaps. They build awareness. Patients see your message daily on their commute, and billboards reach 90% of US residents every month. And then out-of-home ads in Canada reach 81% of people weekly. They deliver awareness lifts of 72 to 92% and a foot traffic lift to your campaign of 67%. An example of a billboard ad could be "Smile brighter" with bold call to action to call today. Print media. Community newspapers and magazines remain strong, especially with an older demographic. They're great for building that trust and reputation in smaller towns or suburban neighborhoods. Print advertising in Canada is forecast at 784 million this year alone. A great example of an ad in a community paper, these can tie directly to your direct mail campaign with a QR code for tracking purposes that will allow you that deeper analytics to know how well your traditional marketing is working. How do we blend the two together? You're probably asking yourself. Comparing the effectiveness first of digital versus traditional. So some of the digital strengths are they're easier to measure. You can have more precise targeting. While some of the traditional strengths are credibility, memorability, and they have a physical presence. When are they used best together? Their integrated campaigns can outperform a single channel. For example, you take a direct mail campaign with a Google Meta campaign, could equal 118% higher response rate. You combine a radio campaign with a social ads campaign, your recall reinforced across all devices. Billboards and geo-targeted mobile ads can capture phones after they've passed by your billboard on their daily commute to work. A direct mail piece, you insert a QR code that has a link to a landing page on your website. Once the potential patient has landed on your website, they are then retargeted via an ad. These are ways you can blend traditional and digital marketing together. Now, targeting and the data. Direct mail, we can use demographics, household stats, and postal codes. Radio, the station audience profiles or local geographic reach. Billboards and out of home, we can target specific highways, transition routes, and neighborhoods. Well, you combine these with your digital data for retargeting with a lookalike audience allows you very precise targeting for your campaign. Next, how do we measure it? So your measurement and ROI. For a direct mail, we'll insert a trackable phone number with a QR code. They'll land on your website and the patient can fill out a form. This will allow you to know how many people have actually come to you via your direct mail campaign. For a radio campaign, maybe a unique promo code or a dedicated phone line that calls in directly from your radio ad. A billboard will be brand lift studies and geofencing attribution. So capturing them as they drive by your billboard on a daily basis on their regular commute. Print, put a coupon redemption tracking code in. So they actually have to provide the coupon at the time of usage. These are just some of the ways you can track and measure the ROI on your investment. How do we apply it to dental marketing? And why does this matter for your practice? Here's some examples. Some traditional marketing channels may work best in different scenarios. For example, if a patient is delaying care, where an awareness campaign can nudge them in that right direction to call in and book that appointment. Ads encouraging new patients often work well in mail and billboard campaigns, letting people know that you are accepting new patients. Radio is a very powerful tool for community level reminders. How long does it take to implement? So the timeline and planning. For a print campaign, typically 1 to 2 weeks. This is typically the fastest option. Once the design is submitted, proofed, and sent to a press, your placement in your community newspaper and magazine depends on the publication schedules, but often can be done in a short time frame. Radio generally takes 2 to 3 weeks. This involves script writing, voice talent, and recording, followed by screening ad spots with local stations. Quick turnaround once creative is approved. Billboards sometimes have a 2 to 4 week turnaround time. This requires booking billboard space, designing creative, and coordinating with a media vendor. Sometimes can vary depending on the local availability. A direct mail campaign typically takes about 4 to 6 weeks. This process includes the creative development, specific data targeting, printing, and distribution. A direct mail may take more time due to precise targeting. Traditional marketing builds awareness. Digital marketing drives action. Together, they create a seamless patient journey, from your first impression to the booked appointment. The most powerful marketing tool in your practice is actually you. A billboard sparks curiosity, a Google search builds credibility, a social post will earn trust, and a recall email will often inspire action. When every piece works in harmony, your marketing becomes unstoppable. Marketing has evolved, but its purpose hasn't. It's still about connection. Every handshake, every click, each one helps people see the link between their health and their smiles. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar on how traditional marketing is making a comeback. If you have any questions, feel free to please reach out to me directly. Have a wonderful day.